Hi guys, welcome to another 2-minute devotion with Dad. We're still in Matthew 21, not getting far, but that's fine. One thing I want to point out today is yet another time really, the Pharisees are hitting Jesus up again. And there's several points in the Bible, in the Gospels, where Jesus replies to their questions of critical, saying, have you ever read the scriptures, or haven't you ever read the scriptures? And then he quotes a specific part of the Bible in response to give his justification or whatever, and silencing his critics. So one thing that I've come across in my Bible is we have this little article, I guess, about the Pharisees. And it's probably hard to read, so I'll just read a few things out. The Pharisees attempted by rigorous examination of the details of the Old Testament law to make the law accessible and practical to people seeking to be obedient Jews. They taught strict adherence to the law, not only the written law of Moses, but also the oral traditions which they claimed Moses had passed down to them. The goal was to defend the written law against any possible infringement. They were God-fearing and law-abiding people. They were famous for passing their interpretations from generation to generation by word of mouth, establishing an oral tradition concerning legal matters. They made the law applicable by extracting from it specific guidelines for many possible situations. They argue that if the law were obeyed by all, the nation would be purged of sin. And so it continues. So the point here is the Pharisees had an oral tradition. And so Jesus, by asking him directly, and there's several occasions, even just in Matthew, and I'm sure the other Gospels will have this too, when Jesus is asking, haven't you ever read the scriptures? It was the ultimate kick in the pants for them, because he was hitting them right where it hurts. He was being tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic, almost condescending, like, haven't you read this? Obviously having a go at the fact that, yes, they absolutely should have read this. And even then, they were just refusing to believe or apply it or accept or, tie to connect the dots sort of thing, tie it in with what's happening. And Jesus had to literally spell it out for them. And so it's just, I don't know, just a pretty cool, when you sort of read that little article. I know a person has written this, so and those are all the references to support this. But when you understand the Pharisees, where they're coming from in light of the Old Testament, they were explicitly focused on the laws and legalism, and they forgot to deal with the humanitarian side of God's relationship to mankind. And Jesus just shatters that approach altogether by saying, hey, haven't you read this? And just giving them a serve, pretty much, and making them to look stupid. I suppose they would have looked stupid in their own right, because Jesus threw their own doctrines, laws, and practices back in their faces by saying, hey, you don't even know this, and now you're challenging me on this thing that you should already know. And that's probably why he riled them so much, among other things, of course. And then Jesus, when he was questioned his authority to do the things, and he threw back into them, what about John? John's authority, where did that come from? And they couldn't answer. And I'm just wondering, because John's doctrine and approach was not based on Old Testament law, which is where the Pharisees were focused, and they still didn't believe him. I'm just wondering if that's why sort of Jesus hit in here, because not that he knew that they wouldn't know, but it was just like, well, this is God moving on from the law, and Jesus is fulfilling the law, and now the focus is now turning from sin. But anyway, just a different approach, different concept, I guess, I hadn't thought of before. And just a bit of extra light on the Pharisees themselves, and why they have certain approach and why they were so opposed to Jesus' teaching, because it flies in the face of everything that they did orally, traditionally, and based on the law only. Anyway, a bit of a different one. That's what this is for. Have a great day, guys. Love you so much. Have a great day and see you at the next one. Bye.